Everyone, this is Jomar. Tonight we're going to learn how to sell anything, and I'm going to give you a 4-point formula, and it starts with the first objective, which is to sell. If you're here because you want to sell something, please note the very first part of the formula, which is a traffic source. And in our brains, the traffic source is nothing else but social media. However, there are two big traffic sources that are not social media. One is Google, and the other is YouTube. All right? Then on top of traffic source, you also need a marketplace because we are so engrossed in marketplaces. Do you remember what happened last 6/6? 554422 in Asia Pacific? Every time these calendar dates hit, there's a sale, there's a discount, there's free shipping in the marketplaces. And these marketplaces are Lazada, Shopee, Amazon, Shopify, and all the other places like Etsy, and Facebook is trying to be a marketplace, but it's not really winning. But marketplaces are great places if you are gonna sell objects. Please remember, a lot of the things sold in marketplaces are objects, like cases of cell phones. So if you're going for that, you want to sell objects, then all you need is a marketplace. But if going for things that are not objects, like courses and coaching, then you better pay attention to traffic sources as well. Okay? Now, what is the second half of the formula? It is your website. Second half is where the people are coming from. The other half is where the people are going to go, and that's your website. Now, hang on a minute, because some people are saying, I don't need a website. I have social media, the traffic source. Actually, you don't have it. You just have a borrowed account. You don't technically own it. Okay, so don't think that you don't need a website, because that's a big blunder that's only realized when you receive a message saying, I'm sorry, your account is now terminated. You can no longer post for 40 days, something like that. And I'm sorry, your account is no longer valid for running ads and boosting. And then you realize, this is not mine. This Facebook page is not mine. It's somebody else's, and I'm just borrowing. And same case with Twitter and LinkedIn, it's not yours. Okay, so you need a website, a place to call home that you actually own. So you can actually back up that website in your computer, and if the website gets attacked, gets shut down, you can make a second website just like that, because you own it. Most important to remember, you do not also own your YouTube channel. You're just borrowing a space from YouTube. And if YouTube suddenly decides, no more page for you, no more monetization for you, no more channel for you, then you realize, oh, I'm just borrowing. Okay, that's very good realization. If you realize something important, realize that. Okay, next, after your blog, there's another place where you need to bring people to, and that's your customer email list. Customer email list is so critical, because what's a customer? A person who buys from you. Question, a social media follower, is he valuable or less valuable or more valuable than a customer who buys from you? What do you think? Obviously, the person who buys from you has more value. So that customer list is the thing that runs the business. Without that list that runs the business, your business will not earn money. Yeah? So remember this, when you see an insurance agent with a notebook listing down names and addresses and emails and telephone number, that notebook is very important for that insurance agent, real estate agent. Without that customer list, that person cannot function. That salesperson cannot sell. That agent cannot sell anything. Now, online, people tend to think, oh, I have followers, I have likers, I have subscribers. But if you don't get their emails on a list, and in addition, if you don't get their mailing address, the one they use for snail mail, if you don't get that in a list that you own, and you don't have their permission to send them messages, then you don't really have an online business. Okay, so that's the formula. Let me review. You need to know that the goal is selling. You need the traffic source or sources plus a marketplace or a marketplace. Bring them to your website, and then make sure they go to your email list. Whether they buy from you or not, if they're interested in what you're talking about online, then make sure they go there. Okay, so here's the list: traffic source plus marketplace, also known as traffic source or marketplace. Then bring them to your website and customer email list. Okay, so that's the formula for selling anything online. Here's the question though: how many of you have the traffic source, the social media presence, the YouTube presence. Yeah. How many of you have the website? How many of you have an actual list? You know, that the list is like this. If somebody's house burned beside your house, you can run away with the list. If you can run away with the list, and it's like, no, it's not a physical thing in your house, then you're safe. Okay. So that's the formula for online selling, which leads us to the point that if you sell online, then you definitely need a website. Okay. How's that? Well, you own it. You cannot be banned from using your own website for business. Unlike, for example, in my case, I used my Facebook personal account for online business. And I think that's the reason why my account got restricted. I'm no longer allowed to run ads because from the very beginning, when I made my Facebook page, it wasn't for personal use. It was really for business. So I think that's the reason. So not a good thing to do to use your personal account for business. So you need to use a Facebook page. And since Facebook pages are really, really subject to, bans and restrictions, especially last year when Facebook actually admitted that they really had a problem because their AI was banning everyone. And you really have to appeal to Facebook. Hey, please don't ban me. I haven't even run ads. Why are you banning me? Because they had a bug. They had a big problem. A bug is a computer programming problem. I'm computer science, by the way, so I'm very familiar with bugs. And they were able to fix it, but they did not publicly apologize. But why would they, right? Why would they? Anyway, let's move on. Now, to make websites, I recommend WordPress. WordPress being the system that a lot of the professionals use nowadays because of one reason, and that is plugins. A plugin is something that makes WordPress more powerful. Now, later, I'm going to show you a demonstration of using WordPress without plugins, okay? And I'm also going to show you what it looks like, the way I did it for the last 5+ years with plugins. Is that fair? So you can compare for yourself, because if you use WordPress without plugins, you pay a certain amount, obviously, because your own website, it doesn't come for free. But if you use WordPress with plugins, you will also pay another certain amount, because plugins that are really good, they don't come free. It's like running a business and saying, we have to pay rent. Yes, we have to pay water. We have to pay electricity. We have to pay computers. Everything running in an online business, if you're going to go for quality service, quality tools, then you'll have to pay for it. Okay? Now, as you know, pwede ka magwalis, but the walis, the broom, is not free. Okay? You can also use vacuum cleaner, which is more expensive than walis, but they're both not free. All right? So today, the best way to sell is to use a sales page. Every time you are compelled by Shopee or Lazada to buy something, you are looking at a sales page. Do you know that? Do you notice that? Sales page galore. Okay? And that's why it's very critical, a skill for an online entrepreneur like yourself, to learn how to make what do you think? What is the one skill you think you should learn how to make? A sales page. A sales page. Okay. If you make a sales page, you can actually create a sales letter, which is the same text in an email form sent to your email system. Okay. And when you make a sales page, it has to look professional. Otherwise, what's the point of paying for the tool? I'm going to demo to you what it looks like using a newbie mindset. I'm going to create a WordPress page, newbie mindset, no, as if I don't know anything. And then I'm going to show you how to make a sales page, newbie mindset again, I don't know anything, and using a paid tool, because it's very, very critical that you understand the big difference between professional looking and I just want a page and I hope somebody buys from me, which is really bad. You don't hope somebody buys from you. You plan for it. No? You plan for people to buy from you. For example, let me show you this one so you can enjoy this. Okay. A tool like the tool that I'm going to show to you guys, you can use it to create landing pages and funnels. And they look exactly like this. Does it look familiar or does it look professional? I'm going to demo how to make this in a while. Okay. So you can make landing pages in a few seconds if you have the text. Obviously, if you don't have the text, you'll have to type the text in, but the design is already pre-built. Here's another one. If you want to run quizzes following Ryan Levesque policy of ask method. Have you heard of the ask method? in the ask method, he tells you that, oh, you should run quizzes to your customers, blah, 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 and stuff like that. But in the ask method, you are required to run quizzes. Now, Ryan, with his book, The Ask Method, is selling a service to run quizzes. So this tool that I'm using, it has quizzes built in. You can create quizzes, and the quizzes look like this. Now, on top of that, how many of you would like to become a course creator or a person who sells online courses or coaching online? The tool that I'm using for making websites actually allows you to do the same thing. It makes websites, but it also makes websites that may log in. You know what that means? When people buy from you, they log into your website and they see your course. Now, today, you can go get yourself an account in expensive course places like Thinkific, what's that? Hindi Coursera, Teachable, and Circle. These are extra monthly payments for you. Okay, each one of those websites I mentioned is an online course site, which actually just gives you a place to put your course. The tool I'm using allows me to create a course website inside my own website, which complete with login and stuff like that, because that's how powerful the tool I'm using. So now there is one reason why I joined up this tool and used this tool and started using it many, many years ago. And this is it. Now, if you're listening to me live, please type the word conversions, because that's the most important word in tonight's show. Conversions. Conversions, conversions, conversions. What is a conversion? When I was in college, I was standing in front of this flagpole in UP Los Baños, and I was approached by this guy. Hello. I don't know why he talked to me because I didn't know who he was. But he suddenly told me, pwede magtanong? Can I ask you a question? Are you saved? Ano naman? Yes, I am saved. Now, for those of you who don't understand what that means, this person is coming from a Protestant born-again background, and I am coming from a Christian Catholic background. I actually lead a prayer meeting in UP Los Baños when I was in my teens. And I also sing in the choir for 20 years. So that's not a joke. Started singing when I was 16. So he approached me and said, are you saved? And I told him yes. And he said, when? When was the date you were saved? And I couldn't answer him. The guy was trying to what? Convert me. He was trying to do a conversion. What is that conversion the guy wanted me to have? He wanted me to become from Catholic to like him. I don't know who he is or what group he represents, but he wanted me to get to know Christ using his way. It's a conversion. Okay? That's my experience. The online marketing or the online selling world, the word conversions is very important because it means from a prospect to a buyer. Prospect is good, stranger's bad, but the buyer is much better. And when you have a website that is focused on what? Conversion, that is focused on what? Increasing conversions, it means the website designs and the templates, so conversions, though okay lang ang conversations actually, but we actually mean conversions. The conversations must lead to the conversion, okay? If you have a website that the design is built in so that you will have more conversions, also known as more sales, would you like a system like that? When you make a website, do you want the website to help you make more sales? Or would you like the website to just look pretty? Obviously, look at this. If you have been following me for the last several years, you would notice I recognize these numbers. These are countdown timers. I've been using countdown timers, I think for 10 years now. I think I've been using the system for 10 years. I don't really remember. But this is the most critical thing for me because the lifeblood of a business is what? Sales. You got sales, great business. Got no sales, why do you have a business? Right? So the tools that we use, even though they may cost something, if they help you make more money, does it make sense to invest in them? I think so. They make my website look pretty. Okay. They also help me make a page for my lessons. Okay. They help me make quizzes, help me make